Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the North Shore 9 podcast presented by FanDuel. This is NS9 Live. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, we have Ty, we have Jim. And fellas, how you all doing?
I was better after a road series win against Milwaukee.
I'm with Jim. I felt better about 5 games ago.
Yep.
Yes. I think we all agree. It is not fun getting swept by the Cardinals at home.
Not at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Life's starting to suck again, boys.
Yes. Well, let's say, don't you remember on Monday we were talking on Bucko Brew, the Pirates 6-3 against the NL Central. They've won every series and they're all been away. So, I mean, taking care of the Cardinals at home, they should be able to take 2 out of 3, right? They got swept
in 3 out of 4. They got mopped, I believe is the phrase. 4-game sweep at home.
Yeah.
Just terrible. Yeah, I mean, I think it was Ryan who tweeted it out the other day. Like, you lose this series and you kind of lose all the good stuff that just happened. And, you know, 4-game sweep, 5 in a row. You were 16-11 before this. And now, before you know it, you're 16-16. And the rest of the NL Central just won't freaking lose a game. The Cincinnati Reds are 20-11 with a negative run differential. They're somehow winning these games. And yeah, there's some space now between the Reds and the Cubs and the Pirates. It sucks. It sucks.
It's been a very frustrating stretch here, and it's also kind of frustrating when I think we came in today thinking you have Paul Skenes on the mound, he's a stopper, and it just didn't go that way. So, getting swept by the Cardinals, when you have Paul Skenes in that mix, that hurts, man. It hurts.
That's what really sucks. I think I did the post-game show on Monday when it was rumored that, Braxton Ashcraft was probably going to start on Tuesday. Like, it wasn't absolutely determined that it was going to, but it was likely to happen. Then we were talking about back then, like, hey, Paul Skenes is a stopper, but Braxton Ashcraft has been, really just every bit as good as Paul Skenes this year almost. And, I feel like you can count on Braxton Ashcraft to certainly be a stopper. It was 2 losses at the time. The first time they've lost 2 in a row since the opening day series. They lost the first 2 games against the Mets. It's like, you know what? We get back in line with things. And they lost that game in a bad way, and they lost the next one. And then, okay, at least Paul Skenes is here, right? Hey, the stopper's here. We're not going to lose the series, guys. Right? Right? Well, I didn't say lose. We're not going to get the series, right?
Yeah. We thought so, right? We thought at the very least, I think we all assumed they'd at least get 1 out of this thing, especially with Paul Skenes going again. I said that, but at least after Monday, during Monday, you think during that game, you think that's a game that should be in the bag and you're starting off the series well. And then about, 9 o'clock on Monday night, shit hits a fan.
Yeah, I mean, right here, Brian says, like, if it could go wrong, it went wrong. Like, Monday was a game that you could have stole with that bullpen game. Like, I feel like you were like, all right, let's just get through this. They got through it with a lead. They were pitching a perfect game into the 7th inning. Everything was going swimmingly. And then your closer, who's just been lights out ever since arriving here, gives up 4 runs. And then boom, there you go. The series was off to an awful start. Then you had the Braxton Ashcraft game where, it was him and Barco were like the only 2 pitchers available that day. And so those 2 guys went 9 innings. Barco coming off bereavement list. So just his routine's off. He didn't look like his normal self. Barco got shelled, and you scored some runs that game, but you also gave up a bunch yesterday. I mean, you're a foot away from a walk-off homer yesterday. So like, it's just there's so many little things that happen in this series. Today they got blown out. plain and simple. Today they got blown out. But yeah,
But, I mean, they did try coming back though too, and
a lot of stuff went wrong. Yeah.
I don't know how this is going to work. Kind of breaking news. We got a voicemail from Bucko Mike. Let me see if this.
See if you can work technology.
I don't know if it'll work.
This message is for Anthony DiNardo. Paul Skenes is the Cardinals own Paul Skenes. Just need you to know that. Sincerely, Bucko Mike. Have a good night.
Have a good night, fellas.
How about Bucko Mike? Bucko Mike making the appearance. I mean, he's right. The Cardinals are the Paul Skenes is 0-5 against the Cardinals, you guys.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Insane.
There's only 2 teams that he's 0-2 against. That's the Brewers and the Cubs. And then he's 0-5 against the Cardinals. I was going to say 0-2. There's only 2 teams he has 2 losses against. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah. Yep. Shout out Bucko Mike. He's out of the hospital, out of rehab. So hopefully he's doing a lot better.
Pirates aren't helping him, but I'm glad he's
No, they're not.
out and about.
Pirates haven't won a game since Bucko Mike's been released from rehab. It's the Bucko Mike is free curse is what we're going on. Is what we're going with right now.
I'm good with that. Go get unhealthy again, Bucko Mike.
No, stay healthy, Bucko Mike.
No, stay healthy. We need you, bud.
We're gonna need Bucko Mike for the stretch run. But no, it was a terrible series. I mean, as I said, we had 4 post-game shows about it. All of them were a couple brutal games. Today's was it was what it was, but yeah, some brutal losses this week, and they gotta stop it. Like this train can't keep rolling. They need to stop it. They got to get a win. Cincinnati's coming to town. They're 20-11. They're in first place, and their fans are dunking all over Pirates fans on Twitter. I've noticed that. Like the Reds fans have been waiting for this opportunity all offseason, and they're taking it. So yeah, the Pirates need to win some games this weekend. You got to win this series. You got to stop the bleeding right here.
Have to. I mean, I thought we were on the right track here after getting the first 2 in Milwaukee. Kind of that House of Horrors negativity was just thrown out the window, and then that Cardinal Devil Magic just came back. And my God, it was Devil Magic a lot of nights, but they also got their teeth kicked in for a couple games. Yeah, this sucks right now, guys. This sucks right now. Should have been an enjoyable April. They finished at 500. You got to keep battling through, I guess. I mean, still 500 after April is not the worst thing in the world. We'll get to the rest of it, I guess, but some other things could happen, and just shower well, I guess, as Clint Hurdle says.
I'm
They're
getting
gonna
tired of
take
that statement.
a ton of showers. Like, how many
By the way.
showers do you got to take? I mean, my God,
Yeah.
they got to win a game.
Or a lot last night.
They've
Right.
got to win a game. Like, just freaking win a game.
Somebody
that's
could win a
like-
game.
Like you said, Tyler, I mean, that was something. Like, you go into Milwaukee and you did what they did. I mean, I felt like that's a huge turning point. I mean, this is showing the legitimacy of this team. You know, I mean, this is something they just cannot do. And they went into Milwaukee and they semi-embarrassed them at home. And then you go home facing the St. Louis Cardinals, who are more or less, rebuilding. And then they sweep you at your home in 4 games, not even 3, with Paul Skenes being in one of them. So, yeah, this is bad. Now, to your point, right? Like, think about this. If it was a month ago and we said, like, they'll finish April 16-16, I don't think any of us would be feeling anyway. It'd be okay. I mean, that's pretty much like about where we felt they were, give or take a few games here and there. We know the schedule, the early part was kind of tough. So, like, if they're 16 at the end of April, okay. You know, there's no doom and gloom there at all.
Yeah, no, it's if you would have told me at the beginning of the year 16-16, you take it. I mean, you take it. You're in it. I think you also would assume that if you're 16-16, you're not in last place.
Right.
So that's and it's early. Like looking at standings this early is kind of silly, but it is a little deflating to see that, you didn't have a bad first month of the year. It was okay. But everyone else had a better one than you. So we're going to get into a few things. I think each of us prepared one reason. I mean, I think the fun thing about baseball, and you could say it's fun, you could say it's also just grueling and excruciating, is that there's 162 games. And if when you're 500, that's just like the worst, because it's just a roller coaster. There's wins, there's losses. Like you never really get too high, you never really get too low. You're trying to figure out like who you are. We're low right now. There was a 5-game winning streak earlier in the year, the 5-game losing streak now, but there's still 162 of these. So you got to remember, hey, there's still a lot of baseball to be played, but at the same time, you're in last place. You just lost 5 in a row. As Pirates fans, we just have this PTSD because we've seen this happen a bajillion times where it's like, oh, we're looking pretty good. We're looking pretty good. Boom, fall off, right? So you see these 5 games and you're like, here's the fall off. Season's over, right? It's April 30th. Season's over. So we're going to talk about reasons why the season is over. But we're also going to talk about reasons as to why we might need to chill a little bit.
Yeah, you talk about the highs and the lows. That's the thing about the 500 is you're equally. It's not like chill. I mean, you're equally high and you're equally low. At least if you're winning, it's like, okay, there's more highs. When you lose, I mean, the thing is, like, we live in a society now, everything's instant reaction, right? Everything instant gratification. So when you lose, the world's falling, right? When you win, you're the best. Issue is when you win more than not, when the world's falling, it's like, okay, well, back tomorrow, you're everything's great again. There's some perspective, but yeah, we have all the emotions. This whole roller coaster just evens out. We're the best, we're the worst, we're the best, we're the worst. It's everywhere. And that's what's frustrating, because it's like just last week, we're talking about, can they win the division? And now it's like, will they even sniff the playoffs?
Yeah, like literally. On Monday, we were talking about you go 5-2 this week, and all of a sudden, like, you're looking really good. And now we are 4 days later, and the sky is falling. So how do we want to do this? Do we want to start with the bad and end with the good? Is that how we want to do this?
I didn't think that part through.
Did we all bring like 5 bad things and 1 good thing? Or am I the only one that's like super negative right now?
I brought 2 of each. I brought 2 of each. Yeah.
Tyler, you're the only one who brought 5 bad things and 1 good.
Well, I really had to dig to find some good right now. We're going.
But that is on brand.
You know what? Let's start with the bad, and then let's end with the positives here, right? So let's each go around and we can discuss, our issues here, but let's each give one reason why this team ain't it. Like this last 5 games, this stretch, this is the beginning of the end. Let's do those reasons. So who wants to start?
I brought 5, so I can wait.
Okay. I brought 2. So
I brought 2.
All right. DiNardo, you go.
I don't know which one I want to do.
All right. Well, then I'll go.
Let me do this one then. This is why the world is falling. Besides all the real reasons the world's falling, and we're all going to probably die before the season's over, because the world's going to be destroyed. We're going to have aliens, invading us. We have World War III, right? Like, everything's none of the season matters because the world's going to end. But besides that,
Are you referring to the earthquakes at Area 51?
There's that thing too. It is funny, like, you know, every day I feel like there's new alien information. We're just like, all right,
Yeah.
whatever. You know, it was just recently we're talking about Oneil Cruz. And, you know, the thing about this year is Oneil Cruz and Bryan Reynolds need to perform. Free agents, trade acquisitions, great. But if Oneil Cruz and Bryan Reynolds are performing, this team's really not going anywhere. And Oneil Cruz is performing. And like counting stats, like he's got the home runs, he's got the stolen bases. Jimmy had the tweet out there. The first time in LB history, someone had, what was it, 10 and 10?
9
Or 9 and
homers
10?
and 10 stolen bases.
Yeah, 9 homers and 10 stolen bases before the month of May.
Before
right?
May. Yep.
There it is. He made history. This guy could be an MVP caliber. I mean, he's just doing everything until he stopped. And yeah, you know, on Bucko Brew, that is something we talked about with Oneil Cruz. And it's like, you know, are there some worries with Oneil Cruz? And, you know, you talked about a Jim, and I kind of agreed with it. And we're kind of seeing that. Right now, it's past 66, one more time, 66 plate appearances. He's batting 164, striking out 44.4% of the time. Fellas, that's not MVP caliber type of baseball. He's got under a 50 weighted runs created plus in that time frame. I'm not here to say, of course, like it's all doom and gloom, and they're going to, but yeah, it's not looking good. And like that's what happened last year. He had a hot start and it fell apart. And that's like you said, Jim, like he's done this before. That's why I'm not going to sit here and say, like, yeah, there are some things to worry. I don't know if this is going to sustain. Fellas, Oneil Cruz is bad right now, like really bad. Yeah, he has 4 home runs in that time frame. Like that's something he will continue to do. That's why he's not Henry Davis level weighted runs created plus, but it's not good. And it's not good. It's not good. What if Oneil Cruz is just like not good?
No, that's a good point. I mean, and I think what is a little eye-opening here is we kind of saw this last year too, right? Like he had an insane start to the season last year. We were talking about him being in the MVP talks. We were talking about 40-40 at one point for Oneil Cruz last season. And then he put together the worst 3-month stretch you'll ever see a baseball player put together, right? So yeah, it's concerning. I would say like the one thing here is that lots of strikeouts, batting average is low, OBP is low, but when he is hitting the ball, it is going over the fence. So like it's in like the last 15 games, he's hitting 182, but he has 4 homers. So I guess if you're going to slump really bad, at least make those few hits that you have count. And he is doing that. But no, you're right. It's been a rough 2 weeks for Oneil Cruz.
In those 66 plate appearances, 40% of his hits are home runs. Makes you wonder.
Yeah, and I think the other part of that is something we're seeing here, and we see the Pirates kind of fight back later in games and the offense come alive. But I think we're also seeing that because first, second inning, these guys just aren't performing. And that starts with Oneil Cruz. He's hitting leadoff every day. He's not on base ever. Last week, last 66 plate appearances, he's not on base. So it's taking them a little while to get more into the game offensively, put runs on the board, have base runners. I mean, you're starting the game with an out every game. He's got to get going.
Yeah, I mean the offense goes so much smoother when Cruz is on. He is, as you call him, DiNardo, he is the catalyst. When he's on, the offense is on. It's hard not to be.
I mean, he
turns
turns
on.
Yeah, he turns a little dribbler into a double. He has that kind of talent. Problem is, none of those things are happening. He's just not hitting the baseball at all.
I don't even know they said it on the post game show, but going in that, not turning a dribbler into a double, whatever. But like today, him tagging up from first to second on a fly out to center field, like that was huge because that's what gave Bryan Reynolds the 2 RBI when it should have just been 1. It could have been a 5-2 game. Now it's 5-3. And again, that's what I said earlier. Like, I mean, they were in striking distance. Like they did try to come back and they let it all go again today. But like, yeah, like those are the good things that Oneil Cruz is capable of. You know, that is why I dove him the catalyst. And I do like him in the leadoff role, but he's not performing right now. And yeah, like maybe it's time that, okay, like let's get you back there. Like, I don't know who would be in the leadoff role. Maybe it's Horwitz or something, but you know, like maybe this is not the opportunity for Oneil Cruz to be at leadoff. Maybe he does need to stay back a little, get things right again. Cause it's not pretty. Again, the strikeouts are, you can live like a 30% strikeout rate, 32, 33 for Oneil Cruz, but like 44, no.
Yep. All right. Anything else to add on Cruz?
I just hope he turns it around very soon. We can't have another 3-month stretch.
No, absolutely not.
We're already close to dipping below 800 OPS. Jim, we were just talking maybe a week and a half ago where is he a 900 OPS guy? I think we got our answer. No.
All it takes is
until
another
next week.
Too, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, we need a who knows? Who knows? But yeah, these last couple weeks haven't been good. All right. You want me to go?
You can go ahead.
The reason why it's over for the Buccos is because this team is severely lacking depth, specifically on the pitching side, but really just depth overall. We've already seen a lot of shuffling around in the bullpen, and there hasn't even been an injury yet. But we've seen people having to be shuffled in and out, in and out. We already know that the starting pitchers are limited when it comes to their innings. Like, how many innings is Carmen Mlodzinski going to pitch this year? In fact, how many innings he's going to pitch in any given game that he takes, right? Like, you've got Carmen Mlodzinski in the rotation who struggles to go a second or third time through. You've got Bubba Chandler, who has so far shown that he hasn't been able to go deep into games. You've got a middle relief that is just a revolving door at this point, throwing guys at the wall and seeing who sticks. You've already had to use an opener for Mlodzinski a couple times. You've already had to use a bullpen game. And all this, guys, with 0 injuries. Like, they have been extremely lucky up to this point when it comes to the injury bug. Jared Triolo's on the IL and Jared Jones is on the IL. That's it. That's it. What happens when the Pirates, just like every other team, a starting pitcher goes down, and then a reliever goes down, and then an outfielder goes down, and then another pitcher goes down? That's when I get really, really concerned, because it's not a matter of if that's going to happen. It's a matter of when it's going to happen. The Pirates aren't going to be the first team in the history of the sport to not have pitchers go on the IL, right? And I think what's frustrating is you've been lucky up to this point where you've maintained your health. You know, we're 32 games in. No one who you're really, really counting on has gotten hurt, right? Triolo is a role player on this team. He's a supporting cast member. None of your stars, right? If you were making a movie poster of the Pittsburgh Pirates, everyone who's on that movie poster has been healthy. 16-16. You look at the rest of the division, though. The Cubs. Do you know how many pitchers the Cubs have on the IL right now?
I do.
10. The Cubs have 10 pitchers on the IL. 10! 3 starters and 7 relievers. Imagine if the Pirates had 10 guys on the IL. Like who you'd be starting. Noah Davis would be like your number 2 starting pitcher at this point. So it's a concern for me that the Pirates have been really lucky up to this point. The Cubs, meanwhile, have been bit with this injury bug by a lot. They are 19-12 with all of these injuries. You look at the Brewers. The Brewers have 3 lefty relievers on the IL. 3 lefty relievers on the IL, plus a starting pitcher, plus their 2 best hitters in Jackson Chourio and Christian Yelich. They're above you in the standings. And then we go to the Reds. The Reds are 20-11. They have 3 starting pitchers on the IL, a reliever on the IL, their best lefty reliever, by the way. And, that guy we all wanted to sign over the offseason, Eugenio Suarez, also on the IL. And they're 20-11. So my concern here is just at some point, these injuries are going to start popping up for the Pirates. And the rest of your division has already been bit with that bug. And they're still outplaying you right now.
Can I pile on?
There you
With
go.
all
End
those
rant.
injuries also, their tag, Brewers 18-12. So like, I mean, it's they're doing this and it looks as if it's legit. Cubs 19-12. Also, like they're doing this and it looks legit. Reds, not so much. We talked about 15-16 though. So even they level off, though, they have such a good early jump on the, in this, that even if they level off, it's still going to take time for the Pirates to catch there. Even the Cardinals 15-16 as well. So like even with all those injuries you talked about, like they are playing well and it is also pretty legit. So like what happens when those teams also get healthy? Doom and gloom, baby.
Yeah, I mean, one of my points was kind of taken there of why the sky is falling, and that's really the point of the margins are so thin with this team. A lot of things have to go right for them to be good this year and to make the playoffs. To this point, pretty much everything has gone right, like you said, Jim, injury-wise, and we're still talking about a 16-16 team. That's a problem. Like, things can't go wrong with this team. Guys have to sort of overperform a little bit. We've seen some of that, but we haven't seen the injuries issues pop up. Like, guys have played probably close to their level, and they're a 500 team. They set themselves up to have margins thin to the point where everything has to go right. And for the most part, things have gone well, and it's still not good enough.
Nailed it.
One more reason why it's over, Tyler.
Yeah, one more reason it's over here. And my point was going to be that the margins are so thin, and this just does tie into it as well. I'm going with the bullpen. The bullpen's a problem here, guys. On Monday, I know I was on Twitter telling everyone, chill out. Like, Dennis Santana's he's a really good closer. Everything's fine. He just had a bad night. Dennis Santana has an expected ERA of over 5 now. He's not striking guys out. He's not missing bats. He's not dope, as Cody would refer to him as. He's walking too many guys, and then you run into today where Isaac Mattson has an absolutely atrocious day. Those are 2 of the 3 guys you expect to lock down the 8th and 9th inning. At the very least, 7, 8, 9. Mattson's a guy that I think I love the guy, but I don't think you can expect him to be a dominant reliever. Dennis Santana doesn't have like blowout stuff where he's going to lock down teams all the time, at least just looking at him eye test wise, but you expect better from them. Soto has been good to this point, but then you go down the line here. There is not much here. Middle relief is atrocious, and we saw it rear its head here during this Cardinal series. There were 2 games where they fought their way back into it, but the middle relief could not keep them in the ball game. There's no help coming. There's really not much there in AAA that's going to come up and help. We saw Wilbur Dotel throw a pretty good game in the bullpen game. But aside from that, there's not much help coming here. You said earlier, throw it at the wall and see what sticks. They're at that point here, and tomorrow will be May 1st. We're already trying to figure out who the hell is going to be the middle relief in this bullpen. It's been a concern all offseason. I think it's a really big concern right now. You can't give yourself a chance to win if your starting pitching just struggles out the gate, and they're going to do that from time to time. If your offense battles back into it and your middle relief can't just close the door and put up a 0 here and there, you got major problems. And right now, they don't have guys that can do that. The bullpen's an issue.
Well, you saw that exact issue happen 3 times this series, where, the starter didn't really get it done. You needed that middle relief to really execute and give you some quality innings, because the offense did eventually get to the Cardinals, and really every game this series outside of Monday, they got to the Cardinals bullpen. They got to they chased the starters sort of early. Like even, Kyle Leahy, I was making a joke, but like they chased him early. Like they got 3 runs off of him. And so they were able to get to the Cardinals pitching staff. It's just, every time they came back and kind of got themselves back into the game, the middle relief gave it right back. And you need those guys to come through every now and then.
Yeah. Jared Jones coming back is going to be very welcoming. They can really use him right now for all these discussions we talk about. Because him coming back, whatever his role is going to be, I feel like it's going to help this bullpen out. As long as everyone's healthy by then.
Yep. I think the elephant in the room there, though, real quick, is don't know if Don Kelly's really done a great job of managing it the last 5 games either. Just as a little bonus issue, if we're gonna sky is falling it the whole way.
I was like, I came with 5. I'm getting a couple of these off, guys.
One more, just one more.
Right.
Yeah. He did a couple things that I probably wouldn't have done. I'm not necessarily going to blame this 5-game losing streak on Don Kelly. Like at the end of the day, your guys got to get it done. But I think there are 1 or 2 things I would have done a little bit different.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
All right, we ready to talk about why it's not over? And it's still early. It's April 30th. There are 130 baseball games still remaining. And you know what? Fangraphs still thinks the Pirates are going to have the second best, win-loss total in the NL Central. So, do we want to maybe turn this thing around? We just talked about all the reasons why this season was over. Let's talk about why. Let's pump the brakes. It's April 30th. There's still a lot of baseball, and there's some positive signs here.
Let me do this. I'm gonna go a little different route, I feel like, than we probably all were gonna take on this. I know it's early, but I think there's some meaning to this. The Phillies are 12-19. The Mets are 10-21. I feel like that actually means something for the Pirates. all off season, we're talking about you got to get it done in this division because, I mean, are you going to sniff this wild card with these other teams that are out there? You know, like how many is the NL Central going to get in? Phillies are off to a bad start. Mets even worse. Now, here's the thing. I'm not writing them off. The Mets have a much tougher time. You know, the Phillies, though, I want to put something out here. Since the wild card era has begun, the Phillies on April 30th being 12-19, 6 games out of the wild card. Only one team since the wild card era began has been in that hole and has made the playoffs, and that's the 2024 Houston Astros. I'm not, again, like wanting to write off the Phillies, but they're in a hole. And my positive to this is this whole NL Central is still wide open. Like they're all jumbled together. If the Pirates go out there and handle their business against the division, they have a shot. Like they have a shot. They're all here. I mean, they're not out of it by any means. Everyone in NL Central is right there. It's in striking distance for anybody. And I do firmly believe they're better than the Reds, and I do firmly believe they're better than the Cardinals. If they go out there and they do their job, there is absolutely a chance that they get in by a wild card without winning the division. You know? Every other, I mean, you look at the NL East, let me get the divisions now. There's one team above 500 right now, and that's the Braves. Like Miami's in second place because of how bad the Phillies and the Mets have been. You know, that's the perspective I want to put on here. I don't think it's so much now like it's division or bust. I think that you could have one or maybe even two wild card teams from this division right now. So take care of business at home.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point because I mean in the expanded wild card era, there's three wild cards. So you don't even need to be the second best team in your division. You really don't even need to be the third best team in your division. You just need to be better than what's the math? You need to be better than 9 other teams in the National League. You need to be a top 6 team, right? So you need to beat 9 other teams. And yeah, you start doing the math, and the Phillies and the Mets were 2 teams that you absolutely going into the season were like, those are 2 teams that you're going to be fighting. And I'm not saying they're out of it. Like, just like you said, like that,
Right.
It's baseball. Like the Phillies went 11 and 19. They could go 19 and 11 and be right back at the 500 in 30 days. Right. Same with the Mets. Like the Mets are talented enough. They could go 21 and 10 over the next 31 games and be 500. Like, but they are in a pretty big hole, and you haven't put yourself in a hole. You're right where you began. You're just standing on level ground. You're kind of treading water at this point. And like I said, it's a long season. You got to outlast a lot of teams. And, you know, there are a few teams that have 0 shot of making the postseason. And the Pirates are not one of those teams. The Pirates do have a chance, and they haven't really done anything to lower their chances over the course of this season. I mean, you look at,
they got swept by the Cardinals.
but like if you kind of look at where they were on opening day and you look at where they are now, I mean, opening day, they started off with a 45% chance to make the postseason, according to Fangraphs. Right now, 46%. So like it went like this, but they're standing right back where they were at the beginning. So yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and I think to add to that, like the Reds are playing good ball right now, but the Reds are not 9 games over 500 throughout April good. Like Sal Stewart, Ellie De La Cruz are playing really well. Some guys are hitting really well, but their pitching staff, I think, is going to show some issues here as the year goes on. They're going to go through a skid. The Cubs are going to have issues. Like the Pirates just went through their skid a little bit early, I think, hopefully.
Right.
But like, there's a lot of teams that are probably playing a touch above their head right now. It's not crazy to think in 2 weeks we could be talking about this in a completely different light.
In either direction. But
Right.
you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I hope it's not the bad one.
But no, you're right. I mean, it's still so early.
And I mean, you go through the NL Central, like, yeah, it's like the Cardinals aren't a good baseball team. They're not a good baseball team. Cubs are going to have some issues. The Brewers are good, I think. But some things will start to even out, I think, a touch. You just hope you have the better version of the Pirates while that happens.
Yep. I'll go. One thing that I love seeing is the power so far. And let me kind of take you back to last year. Last year, the Pirates at this point had 23 homers. They were on pace for 120 on the year. They finished with 117. That was 31 homers behind the 29th most powerful team, which were the Cardinals. So they had no power last year. They had no ability to really go out there and put up offense quickly. And it led to a lot of really frustrating losses because the offense wasn't good enough to string together hits, and the offense wasn't good enough to hit the ball over the fence to score runs quickly. This year, it's been different. Through 32 games, they've homered 34 times. They're on pace for 170 homers on the season. That's 53 more home runs this season than they hit last year, just at that pace. That's significant. I mean, that will win you games just in and of itself, being able to just have instant offense like that. Because over the course of the year, I mean, how many times did we have the exact same show last year, our post-game shows, where we came on, Pirates lost 2-1, Pirates lost 3-2, Pirates lost 3-1. This team's on pace to hit 50 more home runs. That means some of those 2-1 games turn into 3-2 wins. Some of those 3-2 losses turn into 4-3 wins. Like, the ability to just put instant offense on the board is huge. Yeah, it's definitely aided by like a few guys, but that's fine. I mean, Cruz has 9, Lau has 8, O'Hearn has 5. This was the first time in Pirates history where you had 3 players put up 20 RBIs or more in the month of April between Cruz, O'Hearn, and Lau. So like you're scoring more runs, you're hitting the ball over the fence, and over the course of 162 games, those 50-ish more home runs you're hitting is gonna translate to like real wins that you just didn't see last year.
I think to add to that, you mentioned all the guys that are up there in home runs. I still believe that Marcell Ozuna at some point is going to turn this thing around. I'm with you, DiNardo, fingers crossed here. But at the very least, he's going to hit the ball over the wall a little bit more, I would think. There are still some guys in this lineup sort of underperforming. Like, we talked about the guys that are playing at their level, but there are some guys that could pick it up a little bit more. Connor Griffin, another guy, 2 home runs in the month of April, essentially. I know he didn't play the entire month, but I think you expect the ball to go over the wall a little bit more than him. Henry Davis, my God, I think at some point you hope he starts to homer a touch. And the one that I'm waiting on, and I think it's coming soon, is Nick Gonzalez. Like, I think he is a 10 home run guy. So there's some guys in there that I think you can get a little more pop out of them. I mean, I think there's more power here than we've seen recently.
Maybe he's more of a 9.5 home run guy.
Sure.
But that one would have been really nice. But yeah.
Yeah. The powers also all come from the left side for the most part, too. I mean, it's Cruz, Lau, O'Hearn, Reynolds, Horwitz. Ozuna
That
and
RBI
Griffin
stat was wild though.
too.
I didn't know that. And
Yeah.
like I'm looking at the team now, just like that's amazing. And I think that's one to add in here too. Like that's why I feel like it's kind of night and day from last year. I wanted to, part of the talk I wanted to talk about was the pitching. That's why I think this team is not gloom. I mean, they had the starting pitch. I know they didn't do it in the Cardinals series. Like they have stoppers. Like that's the one thing that we've talked about early on. Is like I don't foresee losing streaks to be prolonged with this team. They have pitching to get it done. But at the end of the day, they did last year too. So how can I say that pitching is going to be the reason why they'll be good? Because it was there last year and they sucked. It comes down to the offense. It comes down to the offense because the offense is adequate enough. The pitching's still going to go out there and do their job. It's like you said, Jim, and I agree. Like that is absolute truth. They have options. Even though they're struggling right now, every team's going to go through ups and downs. This is the Pirates' time. They went through the down. What they need to do is, of course, right, not allow it to prolong, shorten them up. But like they've kind of proven over the month of April, like they have offense, they can get it done. So yes, Jim, those 3-2 losses can be 4-3 wins right now. That is absolutely a reason why to think about this team being good. That's how many one-run games were there last year? I mean, it was a ridiculous amount. This team has an offense now to make those a good sizable amount of those to wins. That takes 71 easily to 81 plus.
Yeah, last year the Pirates were 25-35 in one-run games.
Boom.
Boom. Extra 10 wins.
Boom.
And they don't need to have them as one-run games. That's just the thing.
All right. Is it my turn? Are we done on that one?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. I'm just going to take us a step back and maybe fill us just a touch with hopium here. Just a touch of hopium. I know it's been a rough stretch. It has been 5 games of hell. Just take the step back with me here. We go back to Monday. If Dennis Santana just does his job, they start the series off with a win. Skip forward 2 days. Nick Gonzalez falls about a foot short of a walk-off home run. The reason I bring those things up are because the Pirates are 2-3 in this stretch if just 2 things just go a different way. The timing of it happening and when it happened at the end of this month, causing them to be 16-16 at the end of April, I think is putting in a little bit extra like pressure on it and a little bit extra negativity that we have towards it. Because in all reality, it should have been a better month. If this happens April 14th, we might not be as angry about it. A couple things just change. And we're talking about an 18-14 ball club. I don't want to overreact here. I know those things didn't go their way. But even one of those things goes right, and there's still a game over 500. And maybe we're not freaking out as much. A sweep is what really just makes this feel bad. 5 in a row is what makes this feel bad. One thing going right, one thing falling the right way. This might be a different show right now.
Look at Ty putting perspective on this to wrap it all up. The voice of reason, Tyler Sweetie.
I don't know why I said that. This team stinks.
No, I mean, yeah, and I feel like that's how a lot of their losses have been this year too. Like they've had some excruciating losses where it was like, man, if it weren't for that one thing, they would have won this game. Like there's at least 5 losses out there where it's like, man, they should have won. They should have won that game. So you do look at it and you're like, those are things that can either just go your way or can be cleaned up. Like it was just like mistakes, right? Sometimes there's just mistakes. They're not far off from being pretty good, I think. Like, but they got to start doing those little things right.
And all those things have fallen right for the rest of the division.
Yeah.
And let me add something here too, because I'm going to say the inverse to this, because this comment is completely correct. Q-Trip says a good coach ball club wins those games. And that's accurate. At the same time, they've won the equally amount of games they've lost this year because they did win some of those games. Like how many times early in this postseason we talk about 2024, 2025, those teams don't win this game. This team did. I'm not here to say this is a good coach team. I'm just here to say, like, same time, I think there's a lot of doom and gloom on Don Kelly, and he's cost this team already 8 wins and something absurd, right? Yes, there are some things we've questioned. Yes, the bullpen management is certainly something you can talk about. But at the end of the day, too, they have absolutely won games that a good ball club wins. You know, they've done that too this year. They've just also equally lost games that you should. That's why they're a 500 team. They're not a great team yet, you know, but they have won those games too. And again, like that is also why we can sit here and say, like, it's not all doom and gloom. They have looked like a team that can win. They know how to win. They've shown those glimpses. They just need to consistently do it more often than not.
Yep. It's just, you look at it in perspective too. Like, it's 32 games. If this were an NFL season, you would have just wrapped up week 3.
And as a Dolphins fan, it's over.
And as a Steelers fan, that's also over.
There you go.
But we're going to be back next week. We're
That's
so
right.
back next week.
That's it. That's life of a Pirates for every week. We're so back. As we
And
just
then if
mentioned, the
you're
beginning of the show started off, right? The highs and the lows. Next week, we're winning the World Series again, baby.
And if you're a Louisville football fan, you're out of the race already.
Just extended our coach.
Proud of you.
Go get him, Tiger. Does that wrap up our show?
I think that wraps it up. Reds coming into town. 3-game set. You got to win 2 out of 3 of these. You have to figure out a way to win 2 out of 3 of these games. And you know what? We could be having Bucko Brew, and if it's after a sweep, we'll be riding high. But yeah, you gotta figure out a way to end this losing streak and win 2 games this weekend.
You can't lose tomorrow. I guess as much as I don't want to call May 1st a must win, you can't lose tomorrow, man. That's going to hurt.
What was Neil had a good tweet the other day where it was like the Pirates are 0-24 and must win games so far this season.
For my own mental health, they cannot lose tomorrow. Let's put it that way.
Right. On the post game on Sunday.
I think I am too. Yeah, so I think me too.
Is it me and you tomorrow, DiNardo?
I think it's
my omelet.
I think it's me and you, Tyler.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Sounds right.
Yeah, let's win it. Let's win that one.
Let's win it.
Yeah. Give away some sandwiches.
Hoisting the cone all-star with Cincinnati. So let's bring it full circle. They come into town. Let's get those cones hoisting once again. Get back in that win column and do what we did last time to the Reds fans. Beat them up. Physically and mentally. You can do both with the cones. Hit them in the face. Am I condoning violence? No.
Yes.
Don't do it.
You are.
Yeah, I think you kind of are. Yeah.
You kind of did.
It's not what I said. That was AI.
All right. Appreciate everybody watching, everybody listening. You guys are awesome. This was a outstanding month for North Shore 9, by the way. And so we had a tailgate.
And I thank me, Bryan Reynolds.
We had a great tailgate. We're gonna have another tailgate on June 13th. So make sure you save the date there. Should have a link out for tickets there soon. So if you weren't able to make it to the first one, or you were able to make it and you left because the skies opened up and it was like the Great Flood 2.0. Yeah, let's hope we don't have that this next time. So yeah, June 13th. Hope to see everybody out there.
I'm really excited. I'm really
I
excited.
hope they're still in it.
Yeah.
Me too. But that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. And I don't know. We got something cooking in the background too. I'm not going to release it and say it, but I'm excited for something else
Yes, we
coming.
do. Yes, we do.
Yep.
We have many things cooking.
We do.
Yep.
We're always cooking. See us in the kitchen.
Yep.
All right.
Is it stir fry?
Yep. Migos are reuniting, which John Cole and myself
All
say.
right, I think we're good for the day.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
How do you reunite? Anyways, okay, let's get out of here. All right, we'll see you guys later then, I guess. Bye-bye.
Like the video, subscribe to the page. Let's go Bucks. All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.